Okay, so Super Saiyan 4 Vegito by Kong Studio versus Super Saiyan 4 Vegito by Demoniacal Fit. Which one should you get? Let's hop into it. Starting it off with the faceplate accessories. On top, we have the Demoniacal Fit version of Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, and on the bottom, we have the Kong Studios version of Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. As far as the differences, there are some noticeable differences. Demoniacal Fit version has black hair with the blue eyes and a black pupil. And it also has a more yellowish skin tone, which isn't very accurate to the show. On the flip side, we have the Kong Studios version, which has brown hair and a more kind of green-blue eye color with a black pupil. As far as the skin tone, that is a lot more accurate to the show with the more pinkish, pale skin tone. So with that being said, while I would say that the Demoniacal Fit is technically still the more accurate version in terms of everything else, like hair color, eye color, and even down to the face sculpt, the skin tone is more accurate on the Kong Studios version. But with that being said, oh yeah, also the bangs are a lot longer, or decently longer, on the Kong Studios version. With that being said, moving on to the hand accessories. Okay, so going on with the hands. Both come with fist hands, open palm hand, grabby hands, and of course, an instant transmission hand. Are these all the hands? No. But before we move on, the biggest difference in the hands is one, the off-white color from the Kong Studios version, and two, the size of the hands, which I'll put a picture up on the screen. Now, moving forward, they both once again come with grabby hand with the hole in it, open palm hand saying come here, a face grabbing hand, and a karate chop hand, which is used for the next upcoming accessories, which is where the real departure and difference between the figures comes into play. As you can see on the screen, the saber effects are pretty different. So the Demoniacal Fit version, you get a whole slashing effect with your saber, and it is really well done for something that's third party, and from what I can see is pretty much an original sculpt. The Kong Studios version, you get the same saber, just molded in different transparent plastics. And of course, for the last hands, for the Demoniacal Fit version, you get a thumbs up hand and some casual gesture hand. I don't think, maybe the thumbs up hand is probably better in context for the character, but that's about it. I don't think it's a deal breaker by any means. I think in this department, maybe the Demoniacal Fit version edges the Kong Studio version out by a little bit, but it's whatever. And also, another thing, one thing that sucks about the Kong Studios version is that they give you two, saber effect pieces, but he can't wear both of them at the same time because he only has one of those karate chop style hands to use. So you can only ever have one on at a time. So that sucks. So something that the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito figure from Kong Studios comes with that the Demoniacal Fit version doesn't come with is extra pegs for the wrists and the neck. It comes with 2 extra pegs for the wrists and 1 for the neck. So that's pretty cool. But I'm not sure if that's them telling us, hey, we know our shit gonna break, so here you go, or just in case it breaks, here you go. Okay, so aesthetic comparison for both of these guys. As you can see, they look pretty different for having to be the same character. Starting from the head. Both heads' hair sculpts are pretty good. I think the hair sculpt for Kong Studios is a bit better. Only thing is, the color of the hair is brown and not black. Now, in Vegito's base form, I've seen artworks where he does have brown hair, but for the Super Saiyan 4 form, even though I thought I saw him having brown hair in some artworks, I couldn't really find it. I seen him with the black hair for sure, which, you know, is more accurate on a Demoniacal fit version. In terms of faces, I went through the faces and accessories. In terms of sculpt though, in terms of the build is completely different. The build, I think, is what it's supposed to be on the Kong Studios body. Now, I will say that doesn't make it perfect on the Kong Studios body because the articulation on that part of the body isn't the best. Neither for either one of them really, but at least Kong Studios looks better. I think Demoniacal fit suffers from being a little too slim and a little too short, like I was saying earlier. However, another thing that it suffers from is that just even the fur texture on a Kong Studios version is way better. Way better. I would go so far as that to say that the fur texture on the Kong Studios version is better than even like the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta fur texture. And if you want a comparison to see how that compares, I'm gonna put a picture up somewhere in the video. And what else? The sculpt on the pants are about on par. The sculpt on the boots, I think well, I don't know what you would call this part of the boot, but whatever you call this part of the boot, it's kind of fat on the Demoniacal fit version. I think it's more appropriate on the Kong Studios version, and I think because it's more chunky on the Demoniacal fit version, it hinders that ankle articulation. So just in terms of aesthetics, it looks a bit goofy, and it's not only that, but it hinders articulation, so that's no bueno. Oh yeah, another big thing. So the reds, especially on the pants, are completely different. As you can see, the Demoniacal fit version has that dark shading on towards the bottom of the pants, and that is, yeah, I thought it looked goofy. Gentleman that actually commented on that video for the Demoniacal fit version, and they said that they think that it's supposed to be the shadow casted from the skirt piece, and that could be true, but even if that is true, I don't think they did it correctly. So, you know, there's that, and that goofiness of the shading is killing me. I think overall, just aesthetically, the Kong Studio version blows the Demoniacal fit version out of the water. Maybe if the Kong Studios version had the black hair, it would make it more accurate, but with that being said, just real quick, because I was gonna make this its own segment, but I don't think it's really a reason to. The Kong Studios version, this arm. Let me just show y'all real quick. See how easily I just played around with it, barely, and this arm, my man arm popped right off. So that arm had a tendency to pop off, and you know, for whatever reason, Kong Studios has this issue with joints either breaking or popping off easily. So, but luckily with this figure, it's nothing breaking per se, it's just popping off easily. But even with that, I would say with the joints, just be very careful, you know. Heat your joints up before you before you popping off the wrists, the hands and whatnot. Oh yeah, the tail is nice and long on this version compared to the Kong Studios version. Oh, this man about to fall over. Alright. But yeah, the tail is nice and longer, and you can even see the fur texture better. Let me see if I can focus on that. Fur texture is a lot better. Like, it's no, to me, it's almost no, and you can look at the muscle definition on the back. Man, Kong Studios lost this one. I would say aesthetically, by a large margin, especially since they pretty much even in all the other categories. I would say, yeah, Kong got this one, and it's not even really close aesthetically, in my opinion. Okay, for height, Vegito stands about to the tip of his hair a little bit under 7, and to the top of his forehead like 5 3/4 inches tall. Okay, so here he is next to SH Figuarts Super Saiyan 4, Goku and Vegeta for size comparisons, and here he is. Let's put Iron Spider in there. So he's a tad bit shorter than the domestic releases, but Goku and Vegeta aren't the tallest characters. I think Goku's like 5'9", Goku's 5'5", and that's shorter than most male comic book characters here in the West. So I think it's a good set scale. Either way, moving on to my final thoughts, and then stay tuned for my Strike a Pose segment. Okay, for rating, kicking it off, I would say Articulation, 7 out of 10. Not great at all, but passable. Aesthetic, 8.5 out of 10. Looks really good, but you know, it would need more paint for me to give it like a 9 or above. And also for the last part, 9.5 out of 10 for the accessories. I think having the double swords, once again, a bit redundant, especially since it's not like he could do like the double sword wielding. They only give you one hand, and I think that's the right hand to put the sword on. So you can't even do the double sword wielding, and it would have been nice for him to get like a little energy ball effect if they was gonna only give us like the right hand. I think it is right hand anyways, for an accessory. However, with all that being said, how much is this figure gonna run you? Well, because I dragged my feet to put this review out, sorry guys, but thank you for your patience. It was available, and then I checked out 5K Toys, and it's not on there anymore. I think the Demoniacal fit version is still on there, and I'll put it up somewhere on the screen so you guys can see. But originally it was about, what, $55 or $60? So it kept its original price. Now, finding this guy, if you want him for whatever reason, on the secondary market, I wouldn't advise paying a whole lot of money for it, because it's just the gamble with the QC issues. Now, of course, with this one, only the arm was popping off, but you don't want to pay secondary market prices and then, like, your shit has QC issues. That would be very infuriating, I think. But with all that being said, I also wanted to dedicate just a little this part of the video to say thank you. Even though I had to upload it about a week at this point in time of me recording, and hopefully I can put this out by tonight. But thank you. You guys have got me to almost, originally I was going to say you got me over 500 subs, but we are well over halfway our way to 600, and like, I can't, it's crazy. I don't know what to say. Thank you. I appreciate all the comments and support. Continue to comment and support. Continue to like and whatnot. I usually don't ask people to like, because if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I don't like people feeling like they're obligated to like. Now, it does help me out when you like and comment. It helps the algorithm out, you know, to recognize my videos, to show that you guys like the videos. But, you know, if y'all don't like it, y'all don't like it. I'm not gonna, you know, really hold that on y'all. But all that being said, you know, that was a thank you. And stay tuned for the Strike a Pose segment, because, you know, that's actually one of my favorite parts of the video to do, even though it's arguably takes the longest, just getting all those pictures and editing them, especially when they have like energy effects and things of that nature. But with all that being said, thank you guys for waiting and being patient with me. Of course, videos shall be back, you know, to the regular scheduled programming. And until next time, BombasticPlastic out. Once again, stay tuned for the Strike a Pose, please. And if you don't want to stay tuned, you know, I usually upload them on Instagram. Sometimes it'll be more than what you see here. Sometimes it'll be different edits than you saw in the pictures here. So I'll put the link to my Instagram in the description below. And maybe I'll have some pop-ups in the video earlier. But either way, because sometimes I record these parts out of order. Either way, peace out.